Hey, welcome back to YDG Cowboys. And of course, YDG stands for You're Doing Good Cowboys. Make sure you sub, share, and like. Sub, like, and share, okay? Um, let's go over the list of our nominees for our defensive head coaching position because the clock is ticking. I understand we're trying to wait for Jim Leonard, but the clock is ticking. The Giants have already interviewed Durante Jones. They've got John Harbaugh as a coach. That alone, with Harbaugh being the coach, that alone should raise eyebrows for the NFC East. That alone. Because I'm going to promise you, John Harbaugh is not coming over to the NFC East to split or to take 0-2 losses against the Cowboys, the Commanders, and the Eagles. I can promise you that. And McDermott is now available. Let me tell you again, McDermott from the Buffalo Bills is now available. So let's go down the list of our nominees to actually hopefully join our defensive Cowboys as a coordinator. You got Durante Jones, who I think is leading the pack. If not, Brian Flores is first, then Durante Jones is second. You got Durante Jones. I'm going to read this off because, I can remember, but some of these names, I just don't want to butcher the names, okay? You got Durante Jones, Vikings passing coordinator, okay? You got Aforian Banda, Browns safety coach. You have Jim Leonard, again, who we're waiting on. Who we're waiting on is Broncos passing defensive coordinator. And we got Aaron Whitecotton, who's a retread. I don't really want him. He was in the building already. I don't need any retreads. I need this to be brand new, vibrant, young coach. Even though Whitecotton's okay, I just don't need him as my coach. Not this year. We got too much riding that's on the line that we need to push forward with. This within the next 5 to 10 years, or at least the next 2 years, we need to be in the NFC Championship. Now, I'm just, as Cowboy Nation, I know you're sick of waiting, as we all are sick of waiting. You have Jonathan Gannon. Not no, but hell no. Excuse my French. His coaching tree is Zimmer, Sirianni, and Matt Eberflus. That's his coaching tree. He also couldn't keep his composure by striking a player on the sideline because of some type of confusion that happened within the play. A coach lost his composure by striking a player, and it looks like he struck him twice. I can't have that. I don't need that type of exposure. Cowboys already get bad exposures as it is because Jerry is so much in this drama-filled way. We're that team that we're just a marketing team trying to stay, trying to become a football team. I mean, that's just what we do. It's all about marketing and drama. So no, Jonathan Gannon, hell no. And to me, he's just not qualified. Let's don't make this hard. It's real simple. Matter of fact, the Cowboys should probably listen to the YouTubers and the podcasters. Some of these people out here that's getting all types of views, because if they did, they would probably been in the NFC Championship this year. So, Jerry, you being a 20 $22 billion net worth, you should probably get some boots on the ground and start listening to the podcasters. Maybe you'll get a little further in life. So Jonathan Gannon to me is a hell no. Zach Orr, Ravens defensive coordinator. Ravens has always had a good defense. Christian Parker, I think, Eagles defensive backs coordinator. I don't know if I want an NFC East defensive coordinator, because in order for us to move forward, we have to also win the division. So I don't need anybody someone has, that people know. The Giants know how, we face them twice a year. So I don't, it's like a retread almost. DeMarcus Covington, Packers run game defensive coach. He's okay. Anything's better than what we have, but he's okay. To me, he's like 5th or 6th on the list. And Charlie Bullen, a Giants interim defensive coordinator. The Giants' defensive line is outstanding. Harbaugh is going to make that team better just by the coach alone. So you got to understand something. The coach alone makes the team better. That's 2 to 3 wins right there. Easy. Look what Ben Johnson is doing for the Chicago Bears. You see what I mean? So that's the easy thing. So, Jerry, let's don't make this hard. Jerry's net worth is over 20-some billion dollars. 22, I think, to be exact. I'm not 100% sure. I know it's over 20 billion. That's your net worth. Coaching and coordinators and general managers, there's no cap on coaching in the NFL. There's no cap. There's no reason this year we shouldn't overpay like we've been doing on some of these players. That we shouldn't overpay for our defensive coordinators, our offensive coordinators, and our special teams coordinators, which really suck this year. There's no way we shouldn't overpay. And if we don't, to get the coaches that we need, that further lets us know, make sure you like, share, and sub. Like, share, and subscribe. That further lets us know that, Jerry, you're not really in for it to win. Now, because it's been over 30-some years, and we keep saying this like over and over. So now it shouldn't be any excuses. Yes, we have Brian Schottenheimer, who really doesn't have he has a lot of experience, but not as a head coach. So we're okay with that. We see the vision that he has. But you now have to get a defensive coordinator like a Brian Flores. If he doesn't become a head coach, a head coach. Or Durante Jones, who has slept in his car because he loves the game. When he was coming through the rankings of being coordinators for HBCUs and whatever he had to do. And yes, you had you try to use the LSU as a slash against Durante Jones. But if you really do your research, he was down 9 starters that year. 9. So you had to use freshmen to overcome, which is hard to do. See, Durante Jones doesn't just have one scheme. He has multiple. Just like when, Brian Flores, them together. There's 2 birds, 2 peas in a pod. Defensive coordinator, passing game coordinator. That's the reason why they gave us so much trouble. And when you have your head coach giving him so many praises during the press conference. Now, this is your head coach, Jerry, giving him so many praises. And I don't think Brian, in any press conference, if I can remember, praised anybody like he did Brian Flores and Durante Jones. Because of the schemes, the multiple schemes that he does during the game to cause confusions against other offenses. So why not pay the money for Durante Jones? Why let the Giants go in there and get him? Because I get it. You want to wait for Jim Leonard. I understand that. But if you really, really do your research, to me, Jim Leonard's still third. In some cases, fourth on the list. Now, Joe, you have a chance to make this right. And I understand Steven is doing a lot of, and he's behind the scenes really doing a lot of decision making. But you really do have a chance to make this right. So do you, Will McClay. Sometimes you have to stand up and speak in order to change history. But we've got to get this done. And we need to do it now. Time is ticking. But Jonathan Gannon shouldn't even have a second interview. Shouldn't. But that further lets me know about the football minds that's running our operation. We don't have one. Sometimes it seems like we're on autopilot. So let's change this. We have a chance to really make things right and really do something for this organization. Let's really get some football minds in here. Let's really make the right decisions. And let's really get this done. Things are changing. People are changing. It's 2026. Let's get the old ways out, if you know what I mean. And bring in a new way. No matter what it's based on. All right, Cowboy Nation. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Sub on the way to 1,000. It's cold as shit out here in North Carolina. Talk to you soon. Peace.